Um, all right.
All right.
Welcome to the Champagne Shootout 11 live draft. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. We're going to have a pre-draft. As you can tell by the video here, we have our two captains with us as voted by the shooters. Um, Team Red, also known as Team Mustache, will be captained by John Vandekamp. And Team Blue, known as Team Beard, will be captained by Tim Vandekamp. So we have a real battle of the brothers. Um, this competition started long, long ago, and it has culminated here today, and will really culminate on June 7th when Champagne Shootout 11 kicks off. So I think without further ado, I think we'll just dive into it. Team Red, as is custom, will have the first pick, and then we will follow a snake draft format after that. So, John?
Question for you, Paul. Are there any changes to the format? We're just selecting teams, not pairings, right?
That is true. We are just selecting teams when we convene on June 6th for the selection ceremony. Um, the captains will assign their players that they're drafting tonight into the pairings and matches for the day. That will be for the morning session. And just a refresher, the morning session will be the standard 6-6-6 model that we've been playing. And then
Six
when
six
we
quit, I think is what you're.
well,
Oh,
that's
the
what that
one
was
is
last
X.
year.
The one
That
is
was the format last year. We're gonna try to avoid that this time.
You've
Then so
consulted the
just
Farmer's Almanac
yeah, right.
date selection. Smart.
Just to be clear, we're gonna play the morning session. We'll have about an hour break. And then we will play the afternoon session. In the afternoon, the captains will have the opportunity to kind of reshuffle the pack. They'll be able to take a pairing from one match and place it where they would like it in the afternoon session. So you may play against someone different in the afternoon than you played against in the morning, or also possibly you may play with someone different in the afternoon. But that is at the discretion of the captains based on how the day is going. So yeah, I think that's all we need to. We'll cover all that the night of. But I think we're just about ready to dive into it. So real quick, we did put together. We used a highly scientific algorithm to develop a draft primer. Again, all these values. None of this was done on a whim. This was very scientific, and it took some really bright minds to put together this information. So this is a tool that was generated for the captains to help them select the best teams that they could. And I think most people will agree with all of the values that they see here.
I first was struck by how accurate so many of them are. I'm not sure how you're able to distill so many people down to their essence in one little note, but you did. So I mean, didn't have to do a lot of prep, but just verify that everything here looks correct.
All right, should I kick it off? Team
I
Red.
think you should kick it off, John.
On the clock.
Team Red, Johnny.
All right. Although his Raz is a bit low, I got to go with the 1A. I got to go with BJ Steinbrecher, rookie out of the University of Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Yeah. No surprises there, Tom. I think when you look at the big board, just handicap alone, I think we all knew that BJ was probably going to be number one off the board. He is a rookie. He's a little bit of an unknown to most of the people in the shootout, so we'll see how he handles it. But I don't think there's any surprises there.
He's the chillest person we've ever met. So.
He is the most.
It's a trendy pick. You're going to want somebody new, somebody who's not sullied with all 10 shootouts on his resume. You want somebody fresh. So
yep.
I get why he did it.
Chillest person the algorithm has ever met.
It's an interesting choice. It's hard to fault it. He's probably going to get pretty high, so you're going to have to deal with that. But he also can golf pretty well, pretty high. So I think if he gets in that groove, he will be formidable out there.
You really have to get in the zone, Tim. There's some other shooters in the field that might compete for highest man alive that day. Do you think BJ could be one of them?
Oh, I think if you were putting together a foursome, I think he's in that foursome.
Okay.
I don't know if he's captaining that foursome. I think we've got some history out there, but I think he's he's an excellent addition to the shootout crowd. I wasn't gonna take him first overall. I don't think he's 1-1, but to take an unproven shooter, it's a bold strategy. But if a guy shows up to a draft as the captain of Team Mustache with a beard, he's going to make bold decisions.
That's a fair point. Team high guys the match between all the high guys could be kind of humorous.
We should think about
something
that.
to think about.
It really is.
But then it introduces the pace of play could be a concern.
Right.
Might
Sitting
be
around on every tee box.
Smoking doobies.
Yeah. You're on the clock, Tim.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stick with the draft board. I'm gonna take a guy who not only plays well, he looks good. He's gonna have the nicest golf bag on the cart. He's gonna have the nicest clubs out there, and he's gonna be the best traveled golfer out there. So I'm going with Big Bad Brad Harris. And if we can keep him on the straight and narrow, this is the kind of guy who doesn't make mistakes unless he's, maybe in the afternoon round. Could be trickier, but we'll get him off early. And
yeah, I mean, for the viewers, the scuttlebutt on Brad is that he's a really solid player who rarely makes sober mistakes. So, I think a strong pick. Brad's a stick. I think he can anchor a pairing for sure. Who you put him with, could be important. You want like to echo what you said. You want to keep Brad on the straight and narrow. Yeah, strong pick. Tom, anything to add?
Keep him away from the bev cart. You got yourself a ball striker.
Tom may have something more to say about my next draft pick as we come around here, because I'm going with the man himself, Tom Campbell.
Wow.
Bravo.
Wow.
Okay, now this guy is really thinking. Okay,
Jumping
that makes a
the
ton
shark.
of sense.
Yeah, I think sort of a hot and cold guy. Obviously,
Very clear. Yep.
I know he's been spending a lot of time on his mentals this past year.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
he moved from the midget category to the volatile category, so he's creeping his way back closer to stable.
and I've played with him. I might even pair myself with him because he's the kind of guy who you can he's going to let you in the kitchen, but once you're in the kitchen, you can do good things or you can do bad things in there. So I think with the right chef in his kitchen, the man's going to go low.
That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't change a word of that.
He's not the best color guy in the business for nothing, Paul.
Bit of a reach, but I can understand it.
It's an early reach call there, John.
I'm not offended, I guess. I should be. I mean, it doesn't.
Just based on my board. But
it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, there are higher rated shooters out there. I don't know that there's a more competitive shooter out there.
I mean, there's not.
And I think
that RAS score is.
Tom he's a high RAS guy. He's a high motor guy. Handicap is strong.
Dependable. He's going to show up. His best ability is availability. He's going to be ready.
He will be there. I think if you can levy one knock at Young Hammers here, is that his record is only 50% in his matches. So, not the best record, not the worst record. But I think, on his day, he can be got.
He's the guy that I targeted, and I knew I might have to go a little bit ahead of tier to get him, but I was willing to do that.
It was my comment about the reach was annoyed because I was picking Tom.
Yeah.
So you reached from 4 to 3.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't make him the second pick. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, I don't know who John Zakolski is.
New guy, rookie.
Yeah, why don't you just draft only rookies, John?
I don't draft JONs. Strict rule.
Are we saying that John Zolkowski might fall? Is he about to have an Aaron Rodgers moment?
I'm up here. I'm gonna go with. I got back to back here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go. Johnny Griggs next pick.
Strong pick.
Solid.
so long. He's just so long. It's hard to overstate how long he is. Really well-rounded game. Does fall into that power category. The thing that jumps off the page here when we're looking at it is his stable mentals, and he's 100%. When he shows up, he wins the shootout. So, yeah, I don't think
He has the H in John as well.
What's that?
Has an H in John as well.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, strong H in that, John.
He's the guy who's going to know the rules as well, which is everyone loves to have in their foursome.
Yeah, I couldn't let you pick him. That I know.
You don't want too many guys understanding the rules.
Right. I'm gonna go Dan Thibodeau. Dan the Man Thibodeau.
The guy plays a lot of golf.
The guy's active. You gotta give it to him.
He's always out there. He's blowing me up on the Grint. It seems like every day.
He's back at it. No doubt about that. People questioned his dedication to the game for a couple of years in there.
Yeah,
I saw that front nine the other day, and I was the pick was going to be in at that point.
Yeah. I mean, sub 40 on the front nine. You got to feel good about that.
Yeah.
Don't ask him about the back, but it's a strong front.
We're not talking about the back.
You know what? I'm gonna be a home for JONs. Give me John Zukowski. We don't discriminate based on H's over here.
What do you know about him?
Yeah, how do we know this fella? Tell me more about Jay-Z.
I know he's Will May endorsed, and that's good enough in my book. The guy's never steered us wrong with a shooter recommendation.
That's a good point.
You're true. Well, that is true. For reference, this is his first shooter recommendation. So jury's out on that, but you're right. To date.
Facts, buddy.
Still a good point.
Yeah. You're not saying I'm wrong.
It's a fair point.
Look, we got to balance out Mr. Excitement, Brad Harris. And if we got a guy who's going to be excited to be here, let's grab him.
He seems enthusiastic. He seems grateful to be involved. Little slow on the email response, which I don't appreciate as a prompt person.
JON.
It's classic JON mentality. But yeah, I will say the little that I've interacted with John, I think the attitude of gratitude is strong, and it seems like he really wants to be here. So I think we're in a good spot with him. I don't know enough to say it's a bad pick, but it's an unknown pick. Put a question mark next to it.
People who are covering their face, they got something to hide. We're not afraid of things, so we'll take an unknown here.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna balance out the Thibodeaus here, and we're gonna grab Paul Thibodeau out of Marquette.
Wow.
Wow.
Savvy pick.
Yeah. An admitted three putter, but a man who's aware of his faults and owns them.
So.
Yeah.
The book on young Thibodeau, he's got good shots in him. He just doesn't seem to have enough of them. Real head case on the course. That RAS score jumps off the page, and again, that is a highly scientific algorithm that put that together. But I don't think it's wrong.
And I refuse to be on the wrong side of an Excel error. So I need the bank error in my favor. So I'm getting the Excel operator on my squad.
Yeah, I'm 100% on Excel errors in my favor. It's really important for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think for a player like this, I think 7th off the board is a little high, but I'm here for it.
I disagree. The guy can move the ball. Say what you want about his putting, but in this format, we're not three putting.
Good point.
We're working as a team.
It's the strength of an individual shot. It's not the collective game, right? He doesn't need to put together a round. He just needs to put together a hole or a shot.
Have you guys been on
I
the
could
same
run. I
team
could run
before?
through a brick wall right now.
Have you guys been on the same team before?
Me and Tim,
No.
Tom and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with Tom once.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Who knows? You might
Weirdly
again.
enough, the captains have all been on the same team the same amount of times. Like we played with each other the same amount of times, and we all have the exact same record.
Even Steven.
That's
We
when
have
you know we're doing things right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John and I started out 2-0 in the history of shootouts as a duo, and we immediately have been broken up and never again together.
Well, we got swept by the Thibodeaus on the
That's right.
Colbert
The Thibodeau's kind of, I guess I did conveniently forget that.
Yeah, it
Yep,
was a
and-
real team effort for Dan and I to sweep you guys.
yeah. Yeah. Dan got real hot on that day. All
All
right,
right,
Jay.
I guess I'm up.
Board is yours.
I'm gonna go with a guy with an all-around play style, coming in with a 7.2 RAS, 12 handicap. Know him pretty well. It's actually Libby's brother.
Yeah.
Nepo pick.
That is a Nepo pick
Nepo
if I've ever seen one. Look, Massey Libby's brother is a gamer. I think that's the book on him. I think there might be a little bit of concern about his,
75% match win. I mean,
yeah, I think there might be a little bit of concern about his mentals. I think there's a head case in there. But if we're being honest, it's a strong pick. Best player on the board, right?
I know he's wired. So, all right, next pick. I'm gonna go. Just gonna stick to the board. We're gonna go Keith Butala, Battalion
greedy
Stallion,
pick.
Italian
Greedy.
Stallion.
Johnson. High mental.
High.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
He's in that foursome we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, he might
We're
be
not-
the
You
anchor.
got to think about
He's-
these pairings.
He brings first night bachelor party energy too, which is volatile, but it's almost always welcome.
You gotta have it.
Got to have that guy in your team if you can get him.
Great pick.
Strong pick. Little worried about the amount of marijuana that's going to be consumed by Team Mustache, but it's neither here nor there.
I wouldn't worry about that.
I'm going to continue the run on brother-in-laws, and I'm going to take out of Sacred Heart. He'll tell you that he was recruited to play quarterback there. He actually played wide receiver. I think he had like 8 catches. So just a solid athlete. This 18 handicap is suspect. I think it might be accurate, frankly, but the match record doesn't lie. The guy's 4-1. He wins. Dario Melendez. By the way, I golfed with him yesterday, and on about the 4th hole, I said to the caddy we were playing with, I was like, just a heads up, the scouting report on this guy is that he's got an explanation for every bad shot. Because he did. Of course.
Look, the algorithm is spot
Called
on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next pick. I think
He wouldn't go for another brother-in-law, would he?
Yeah,
I'm going to take
back.
another brother-in-law. I think I'm just going to take
It's a
another
family
brother-in-law.
affair.
This is a cozy little team we have. I like this.
A cozy team. I'm going with Tony Latta. Another rookie. We're gonna be the rookie stacked on Team Beard. One problem with Tony is I don't know that he can actually grow a beard, so we're gonna have to.
We can help him out.
We might have to supplement that a little bit, but very solid player. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Good around the green.
I'm gonna go Drew Partridge, Marquette University.
Oh. Bold
Kind
pick
of early
there.
to take a dentist.
Hey man, if he keeps those shoes on,
I
he
mean,
can play.
again, the scouting report dead on.
Drew's got a surprisingly good shootout record. He's 5-3. He can get volatile though. There's a hot streak in him. But I would say you've got some bubble hothead guys, both in Eric and Drew. But they can both play. They can both move the ball.
Hey, if those high emotions work in their favor, that train can get rolling.
You get that vinegar boiling up.
All right. I'm going to go with the all-time pins leader. For competition purposes, for being on or against Dario, I got to go Will May here.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that pick.
Pretty good chess move, really.
I don't know how to describe Will May's golf game, but he's a mutter.
Phenomenal mustache too. Abilities.
Can grow a great mustache. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's just a mutter.
He's a
Yeah,
vibe.
I'll be honest. I was taking him with the next pick, so you scooped me on him. Just kidding. Was never going to take that scrub. That if there's ever a guy who's due for a loss, it's Will May, right? Water finds its level.
I think he's in a drought, to be honest.
He is.
Well, was he 5-0 to start?
I think he's 5-0. First 6, I want to say.
He has
lost.
Was
he 6?
He's lost his last 3 appearances. He's now 4 shootouts without a win. So he started 6-0.
That's tough. I'm gonna take Elliot. Like, well, we need some non-Midwestern blood here. We're gonna
good height
out
pick.
of UC Irvine.
So tall.
He's very tall. Yep. I mean, his match record, his shootout record, not overly impressive, but again, we're playing percentages here.
You think
guy's not going 0 for life? I think he's due.
It's got to be due. The way he's banging that ball, he's due.
Yeah, I mean, this is the type of player that can kind of bully the course into submission if he's on. I mean, he can really push the ball around the course. He's long, he's tall, he's handsome. What a golfer.
We've had some unfavorable weather. He's from California. We had some crummy weather the past couple of shoots. You can't expect him to perform. If we get any decent weather, he's going to shine.
So no doubt.
Not a mutter. He's the opposite of Will May.
Sunshine guy in many ways. I don't even know what that means, but feels right. I've played with this guy before. My next pick here, in fact, I played with him last year when we pulled up short. I've never, the scouting report on this guy, if it's not real estate, he doesn't care. Not one little bit. It's 100% accurate. But you kind of need a guy. Who's going to be like, hey guys, this isn't real life. This isn't real estate, right? This is just a game. This isn't win or losing like in real estate. This is a golf course. So he's going to balance out some of our more high intensity guys. And he's also going to lower our average ball flight. I mean, he comes in hot in more ways than one. And his approach shots to the green, they're missiles.
I think it's a great pick. The mental warfare that he could bring to his pairing is unmatched. So what he lacks in ball flight, he can make up in,
Yeah. The man can backhand you like no one I've ever seen before.
I'm gonna go on a limb here. I think no one is happier that he got drafted. No one is happier that Wani just got drafted by Team Beard than Tom, because I think Tom wants nothing to do with having to walk around with Wani all day and compete against him.
Yeah,
Not
no,
that
it's
Tom
against
can't
Wani.
beat
If he's
him.
on my team, we are in the same
Yeah.
frequency. But
It's not
other
that
way
Tom
around?
can't beat him at golf. It's that Tom will want to kill him by the time they're done playing.
it was a great pick.
Yeah, we needed him.
Man, we're turned to mainly the vibes portion of the draft here. The whole middle of this is decisions to be made.
And we could start picking names out of a hat at this point.
I don't think so. I think this is where you make or break the shootout here, the match.
But you're putting a lot of pressure on your next pick here.
I'm going to take Tim Vandekamp with my next. Oh, I can't.
Highest available.
I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go Aaron Oslo, CW Milwaukee.
Strong pick. Very strong pick.
Really strong.
Incredible flow.
The guy can putt.
This handicap is, well, accurate. There's a better golfer in there than that.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I think that's a high value pick. Yeah, there's a better golfer in there than that 23 handicap for sure.
With my next pick, I am going to go. I'm going to go Jordan Weber, University of Minnesota. Gopher. Reciprocity.
High vibes guy. Can be a little volatile. As the report says, better when he isn't high. There are good shots in that player for sure. Strong pick.
John has left his king exposed here. He left Will Vandekamp on the board, who could be an absolute weapon if paired in the group with BJ and just get BJ high as fuck. So I'm taking Will Vandekamp. I already know walking into this that Will is probably going to be the least prepared golfer out there.
It crossed my mind about the BJ Will pairing, but
I'm not even sure Will knows where his clubs are.
That checks out. I don't think he needs them though. He's a show up.
Yeah, he's a vibes guy.
Vibes, yeah.
Yep, and I'm gonna also grab here while I got a chance.
So
another
just
guy.
To clarify, you are taking Will.
I got Will Vandekamp.
Great pick.
Out of UWM/Wisconsin.
Both UWM.
Both UWMs. Yeah, no.
Right. Also, criminally underrated RAS score.
Take it up with the algorithm.
Yeah. I'm going to grab another vibes guy, a guy who has no business being undefeated in the shootout, but he is. Tom Lynn. Handsome Tom. Another guy who probably can't grow a beard, but I definitely know he can't grow a mustache, so he's got a better shot at growing a beard.
I'm going full
definitely would have
vibes.
taken myself ahead of Tom, just for the record.
I got to take my freshman year roommate here, EWM, John Elford.
I bet you he's going to bring some hot mashups on his playlist.
That is a guarantee.
Probably the man who has hit the most impressive drive off of first tee in the history of
Shootout
shootout.
history.
It's got to be. Anyone tagging the green
shot.
in front of the crowd. It was a beautiful strike.
It was. I'm still speechless. Alfred can play. He's not good.
To be clear.
He can play.
I had to go A+ vibes with my next pick, Chad Forster, UWM. We'll just keep it UWM, keep it light. Wanted to go Dustin there, but
I love getting Dustin.
Yeah, I think you have to. He's a very positive person, at least around me.
He's the nicest guy around.
Um,
And we're gonna need that to balance out some of the absolute pricks we got on our team.
yeah, yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. We did it. Wondering, quick check. How do you like your squads? John, you go first.
I mean, I just felt like the value just kept falling to me with every pick. I feel like it's a good combination of size, speed, mental capacity. I mean, all around shooters. If they're not bringing the stick, they're bringing the vibes. Super excited to pair these lads together, and I can say lads because Will May's on my team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah.
And yeah, I think this is definitely a winning draft for Team Mustache, and also took into account the mustache ability of the team as well.
I think that's an important aspect.
Yeah, outside of maybe Keith, I don't feel like Keith mustache ability is great, but we'll work through that.
He's going to try.
Yeah,
he's a great
You
try.
you could probably draw one on him. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
got a nice clean canvas.
All right, John. Before we turn it over, Tim, you look at your team. What's one glaring weakness that jumps out at you?
I'm going to be honest. I don't see one. There isn't one on there.
Confidence.
Yeah. Is this?
If everybody shows up, I feel like we got some mutters too. If the weather's not great, we're going to grind right through that.
I wouldn't worry about the weather. We're gonna have great weather. We always have great weather.
I mean, I don't see a weakness on the squad. I think I have a plethora of options as far as the pairings and the matchups. Almost too many.
Interesting.
Maybe I drafted too well.
Yeah, this is the old your weakness is actually a strength.
Yeah, hubris. Yeah.
All right, Tim, turn it over to you. How do you feel about your squad?
I love it. I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. I came into the draft with a list of guys that I had to go and get, no matter when I had to go get them, and I got them all. And so I feel really good about that. I also love this team as a whole. I think they're gonna vibe well. I'm looking forward to getting together with them Friday night of the shootout weekend. I think we're gonna have a great time. Shouting beards. And I can't wait to start thinking about what my pairings are going to be. I got a lot of awesome potential combos. I got a lot of chess moves in the bag that are going to be fun to bust out on the Friday night when we announce pairings. Moves and counter moves, as I know John's thinking about too. And we're going to be two competitors that know each other very well. We're going to be thinking 2 and 3 moves ahead of the other one. And the guy who can figure out how to outthink his own outthinking is going to have a chance to win this. But I know that we're all going to show up and have an unbelievable time. And at the end of the day, I know beards are going to get a big fat W.
Love that. I love that. Same question to you again, Tim. Anything in your team that you're concerned about? Any weaknesses? Anything you see that maybe we might have a problem here?
I'm concerned that we might not be as good at golf as Team Fred. So, but beyond that, I think we got a bunch of gamers. I think we got people who are going to show up and show out.
Love that. All right, everyone. There you have it. Team Mustache, captained by John Vandekamp. Team Beard, captained by Tim Vandekamp. Keeping it in the family this year. Should be a real time. Hammer, you want to send us off with anything?
No, I just want to thank the shooters for getting together and having a nice draft. I like that we talked through it and had our own opinions along the way. I am eager to see how the pairings come through because I think that ultimately decides the match. So Friday should be a ripper, and eager to see where we put our names on the big board and how it's going to go.
Love it.
Love it.
Well, there you have it, everyone. This concludes the Champagne Shootout 11 pre-draft. Stay tuned to our socials. We'll get some hot clips out there. And yeah. Shoot out!
Shoot out!
Shoot out!